What makes procrastination so intriguing is on the surface, it can seem so benign. Like procrastinating is just one of those things we all do from time to time. We can blame it on being too busy or disorganized, but the reason behind our procrastination can be far, far deeper. It can actually be a sign of two of our deeper fears that may be holding us back from creating the outcomes we want in our lives. And I want to delve into two of these today. Welcome to Journeys Through Change, a podcast that inspires women to let go of the fear and say yes to possibility. I'm your host, Noelle Van, an author, creator, and empowerment coach who spent years in corporate America helping innovators and leaders ride the waves of change with ease and grace. I now work with women to step into change and unleash the power they have to create a life they love. Whether you're contemplating a change in your career, relationship, health, lifestyle, or anything in between, nothing's off the table. I'll be offering up simple insights to help you manage the ups and downs of change and sharing interviews with successful women who took a leap of faith to create the life they knew they were meant to live, sharing their wisdom, advice, and all the juicy lessons they learned along the way. So get cozy in your favorite comfy chair and let's get started. I wanted to talk about a topic I find particularly interesting because it's something that shows up for all of us and can have a profound effect on the outcomes we create in our lives. And that is procrastination. Now, experts define procrastination as a self-defeating behavior pattern marked by short-term benefits and long-term costs. What makes procrastination so intriguing is on the surface, it can seem so benign. Like procrastinating is just one of those things we all do from time to time. We can blame it on being too busy or disorganized, but the reason behind our procrastination can be far, far deeper. It can actually be a sign of two of our deeper fears that may be holding us back from creating the outcomes we want in our lives. And I want to delve into two of these today. Our fear of failure and yes, oh yes, our fear of success. Are you ready? Okay, here we go. The first is a fear of failure. This may seem like an obvious one, but to many of us, it can be something we're not even realizing is happening. So what can actually cause this? First is our avoidance of judgment. People often procrastinate because they fear negative criticism or feedback if they don't perform well. And by delaying, they avoid putting themselves in a position where they might be judged or ridiculed. And let's face it, social media only amplifies this insecurity. So what can we actually do to avoid this? Now, besides taking a break from social media, which is a great suggestion to keep the white noise at bay, the first step is to put a stop to worrying about what others think of you. Now, their opinions are none of your business anyway, and part of maturing into the person you're meant to be is letting go of the need to please, like anyone. We all know it's such wasted energy. Now, when my mind goes there, I always think about how little time other people even have to actually pay attention to what I'm doing. I mean, really, we are so self-absorbed, it's pretty unrealistic to think people are spending their precious time on what I'm doing. It's also a nice and humbling way to end the internal chatter and just get things moving. Okay, so the second is perfectionism. We can all fall into this trap from time to time, and I liken it to walking in the mud when I get stuck in a need to be perfect. I know it is total BS, and in my way, it's just another stall tactic. It's super frustrating, and even more so when you see that it's just good old-fashioned self-sabotage. Now, it tends to show up as not meeting your own high standards, but I would venture to admit that it's also wrapped up in how we view ourselves and our need to please others. Done, not perfect, and I'm sure you've heard this before, that became my mantra last year in my business because I was getting so caught up in my need to make everything look just right before launching anything. And I have to say, it helped me a ton to put down my OCD ways and just move forward, knowing I can tweak it along the way. Now, one of my favorites, Seth Godin, says this perfectly. Trust yourself and your practice. Trusting yourself is about learning to trust the process, not the outcome. And what he's really saying is do the thing and worry about how it lands later. It's really about staying true to your intention of bringing something into the world that can help others. Consistency and commitment to do it, even when you feel the resistance, shows the universe that you're serious about your work. Now, putting things off can be a subtle way to confirm your belief that you're not capable of success. By not completing something, you reinforce your fear of failure, which is just allowing you to avoid the discomfort of trying and potentially failing. But, as we all know, inaction will get you nowhere. The ironic thing here that we don't even recognize is something we remind ourselves of all the time. that failure is always a learning opportunity. So in essence, our fear of failure can slowly morph into a fear of growing and learning. Do you see how that works? And we don't ever want that to become our reality. Okay, now here are a few ways procrastination can actually be driven by a fear of success. I know this sounds a bit mind-blowing, but it really is a thing. First of all, doing anything new increases our expectations. Success often leads to higher expectations from ourselves and others. So the pressure to maintain or exceed past achievements can become overwhelming. And what do we do as a result? We avoid taking action simply to escape that pressure. Now, a trick I often use to make it less overwhelming is to give myself a starting point. I tell myself to get the outline done or just put the first hour in to get things rolling. As long as I think about it in smaller steps, it takes the edge off of thinking that you have this huge thing to tackle. This often helps to ease the pressure so you can get started and just build from there. Now, the second one is the concern with changing our identity. Achieving success can alter how you view yourself and how others perceive you. And it can create a huge amount of anxiety about living up to a new identity and will surely prompt a pause in taking the next step. We don't often think about it this way, but to many, getting the gold is a very scary thing because it's counterintuitive to how we see ourselves. If you have even subtle insecurities about your own capabilities, this will show up in procrastination big time. For this, I often tell myself and clients that stepping out of your comfort zone is 90% about how you view yourself and how you think you may be perceived by others. Many of us grew up being told not to be too visible, so stepping into a bigger version of yourself can feel really scary. You may feel success can also lead to jealousy or distance in relationships, and you don't want to alienate yourself from friends or family who may not share the same ambitions. Now, to override this, remind yourself that any time you are putting yourself out there, it's not about you. It's about personal growth and being of service. This often helps to turn around those thoughts of uncertainty or anguish about becoming too much, which, by the way, you can never be too much. The world needs more of us to step up and share ourselves. It's what brings more light to others. So these are just a few thoughts around the fears that can surface when procrastination comes in. In the short term, you may feel a sense of relief to let go of the pressure of doing something that may feel like a stretch. But in the long run, you're depriving yourself of experiences that are bound to help you grow and learn. Fear of success or failure are merely stories we tell ourselves, and either one of them are meant to teach us lessons. Recognizing these patterns is so important. They will help you address those fears head on and be your first step toward becoming a change maker in this world. That's it for now. Until next time. Thanks for listening to the Journeys Through Change podcast. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or really wherever you get your podcasts. And be sure to follow us and leave a review if you've enjoyed this episode. And share it with a friend or on social media to spread the good word, so more women like you can find us and join in on the fun. For more information on the podcast or Day by Day book, go to livedaybyday.com.